Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maharani Dini Floren. My last number ID is 117. Good morning, everyone. Today, I would like to explain 10 research articles related to English language teaching or ELT. I will discuss the main topic of each article, its findings, strengths, and weakness. The first article is titled Digital Literacy Practices of Novice EFL Teachers in Writing Research Articles for Publication, published in 2024. This study focuses on how beginner English teachers use digital literacy when writing research articles for publication. The researchers found that digital tools help teachers search for information, communicate with colleges, and improve their academic writing. Digital literacy makes the writing process easier and more efficient. However, the study also shows that many teachers still have difficulties using digital tools effectively. The strength of this article is that it provides clear explanations and includes quotation from participants, which help readers understand the findings easily. In addition, the article explains the importance of digital literacy in academic writing very clearly. The weaknesses is that the study only involves four participants, so that results cannot represent a larger group of teachers. Another weaknesses is that the data come from self-reports, which may contain personal bias. The second article is Teacher Educators Languaging for More Just English Language Education in Ecuador, published in 2025. This study examines how English teacher educators use English only and multilingual approaches in their teaching. The findings show that multilingual practices create a fairer and more inclusive learning environment than English-only approaches. Students can learn more effectively when their first language is also valued in the classroom. One strength of this article is its strong theoretical framework and detailed participant quotations. The study also includes a relatively large qualitative sample, making the analysis more reliable. However, the research was conducted only in Ecuador, so the findings may not apply to other countries. Another limitation is that the data are based on participants' self-reports. The third article is Migrating English Language Instruction from Face-to-Face to Online Learning, published in 2025, 24. The study investigates how English teachers adapted their teaching during the COVID-19 pandemic. The researchers found that teachers faced challenges related to technology, student participation, and assessment methods. The article emphasizes the importance of teacher training and institutional support for successful online learning. The strength of this study is that it includes data from 50 instructors, providing a broader picture of teachers' experiences. It also offers practical suggestions for improving online education. The weakness is that the findings are based on self-reported experiences and are limited to a specific context, which may reduce their generalizability. The fourth article is Exploring Reading Strategies Among English Education Students in Reading Academic Journal Articles, published in 2026. This study examines the strategies used by English education students when reading academic journals. The findings show that students use global strategies, problem-solving strategies, and support strategies. Among these, among these, problem-solving strategies are used most frequently. The article's strength is clear focus and the combination of questionnaire and interview data. It also provides quotations from students, making the findings easy to understand. Furthermore, the results are useful for improving reading instruction. However, the study only involves 35 students from one university and focuses only on English education students. Therefore, the findings may not be applicable to other students groups. The fifth article is content analysis of the extent of global learning concept present in China's national English curriculum standards for compulsory education, published in 2025. This research analyzes how global learning concepts are included in China's English curriculum. The study reveals that the curriculum promotes cultural awareness and global perspectives. However, critical thinking and social justice topics receive less attention. The strength of this article it is strong theoretical foundation and systematic content analysis method. The researchers present the data clearly using coding categories and tables. The weakness is that the study only analyzes one curriculum document. It does not include classroom observation or perspectives from teachers and students, which could provide a more complete understanding. The sixth article is Constraints in Writing and Essay. Agriculture Students' Voices, published in 2025. This study explores the difficulties agriculture students face when writing English essays. The findings indicate the students struggle with generating ideas, vocabulary, and grammar because they have limited exposure to English. One strength of the article is that it uses real student data and provides practical findings. The researchers include interviews, essay analysis, tables, and participant quotation to explain the challenges clearly. However, the sample size is small and the participants come from only one university. As a result, the findings cannot easily be generalized to a wider population. The seventh article is recent research on creative writing learning in Indonesian EFL settings, a systematic literature review. This article reviews studies conducted between 2015 and 2024 about creating writing in Indonesia EFL classroom. The findings show that creative writing helps students improve language skills, creativity, confidence, vocabulary, and critical thinking. The study also finds that poetry is the most common creating writing activity used by teachers. The strength of this article is that it is well organized and based on many previous studies. It uses a systematic review method, making the findings reliable and comprehensive. However, the review only includes 19 studies, which limits the amount of available data. In addition, most of the studies focus on university students, so the results may not represent all English learners in Indonesia. The eighth article is a systematic review of narrative studies in the English language teaching field in Latin America. The study reviews how narrative research is used in ELC contexts across Latin America. The article explains that narrative help teachers and students understand experiences, emotions, identities, and learning processes. It also highlights the importance of reflection and critical thinking in education. One major strength of this article is that it analyzes a large number of studies and present information from different perspectives. The use of data visualization also helps readers understand the findings more clearly. However, many of the reviewed studies are qualitative and context specific. Therefore, the findings may not be suitable for all educational settings. The ninth article is examining representations of reading education in images and headlines accompanying Education Week. Articles on the science of reading. The study investigates how reading education is represented in media, images, and headlines. The researchers found that reading is often presented mainly as decoding words rather than as a broader social and educational activity. The article shows how media representation can influence public understanding of educational issues. The strength of this study is detailed analysis of media content and strong theoretical foundation. It also used multiple research methods and real examples to support the findings. The weakness is that it focuses only on Education Week, so the results may not reflect how other media organizations present reading education. The final article, or the 10th article, is the impact of English on English speaking proficiency in higher education. The study examines how English helps university students improve their English speaking skills. By using authentic YouTube videos, students can learn pronunciation, vocabulary, fluency, and speaking confidence more effectively. The findings show that students who use English perform better than those who learn through traditional methods. The strength of this article is its clear research design and strong evidence supporting the results. It also provides practical ideas for integrating technology into language learning. However, the study involves only a limited number of university students, making it difficult to apply the findings to all learners. In addition, the articles does not discuss the long-term effect of using English in detail. In conclusion, these 10 articles provide valuable insights into different aspects of English language teaching and learning. They discuss topics such as digital literacy, multilingual education, online learning, reading strategies, curriculum analysis, writing difficulties, creative writing, narrative studies, media representation, and technology-assisted speaking instruction. Although each study has certain limitations, all of them contribute useful knowledge that can help teachers, researchers, and students improve English language education. I think that's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.